God's got you in a blind spot until the proper timing. Don't get stressed out because you're trying to wait on somebody else. You're watching somebody else whose fruit and season has ripened. They've come into their season, and because they came into their season, and because y'all were in school together, you assume that it ought to be your season. But see, God has you on a different track. Your assignment is different. What you're birthing is different. Don't look at other people that are producing stuff, because you see, a mosquito can reproduce in 3 days. It takes an elephant 2 years. What do you want to give birth to, a mosquito blessing or an elephant blessing? So don't get the timetable mixed up because you become impatient and wondering, God, when are you doing it? God may have, he had Moses hidden on the backside of the desert for 40 years. 40 years. 40 years. My dear spiritual father, Dr. Edwin Lewis Cole, he didn't come into his ministry till he was 59. He was 59 years old when he established the Christian Men's Network. But what happened in the next 20 years, I watched God use that man around the world, going to 120 nations of the world and establishing powerful, efficacious ministry. And I bump into people that are his disciples all over the world. It's amazing. And he didn't start until he was 59 years old. He was hidden with a little of nothing till he was 59. God's got a plan. And I'm going to tell you this. If you ever want God to bless you, I would far rather that God bless me on the latter end of my life than on the front end. You don't have any sense at 18 years old. If he gave you a life savings at 18, it'll be gone by 25. I'm just telling you. Thank God that he'll wait until you have some sense to be able to contain the blessing. If he's going to bless you, let him bless you in your 50s where you know what to do with it. Because if he bless you at 23 and you got it all, then it's going to be gone. It'll be gone before you're 30. I'm just telling you. God knows what he's doing. God knows what he's doing. I'm just telling you, he knows. And there's some things that God's got you hidden in a place. He's just got you hidden to be able to bring you in a place of blessing. He's got you in a blind spot so nobody can touch you. He said, I don't want you to touch this. He says, I'm going to put them in a blind spot now because I don't want you to touch them. I don't want you messing with their mind. If I bring you out and expose you too soon, they're going to corrupt you. They're coming after you. They're going to aim at you. I've got to mature you. I've got to get you rooted and grounded. I've got to get you prayed up so that when they do start talking about you, you can handle it. That it doesn't make you want to quit and resign. Because I'm telling you, you'll find some people that will hurt your feeling and that will take what you do for granted and that will not express any thanks for what you do. And you got to say, you know what? I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for him. He's the one that called me. Whether you thank me or not, I'm in my assignment. I'm going to obey God. And so God will hide you. He will hide you in a secret place. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. God's got you hidden in a blind spot, not to hurt you. He's got you there to protect you. Sometimes he's protecting you from you. Because if too many people know you too early, it'll go to your head. You'll get beside yourself. God has a way of letting you go if he can trust you while you don't have anything. I'm just telling you, there are two things that really prove to people you trust and show people who you are: by your attitude when you have everything, and by your patience when you have nothing. And if God can just say, you know, that I know that this person doesn't have anything, but if I can trust them to be faithful while they don't have anything, if I bless them with something, you don't realize that God's got you waiting because you got some tests to take in that waiting time. He wants to prove you before he delivers into your hand the treasures, before he gives you the influence. He's got to make sure that you're not a rambling idiot. He's got to make sure I don't want to give too much too soon to a person that's going to fly off the handle. I've got to be able to see whether their character is matured, whether I can trust them with this. He said, I want to see how you handle money, because if you can't handle money, who's going to then trust to you the true spiritual riches? And there's some things that God says, I want you to see how you'll handle the revelation that I'll show you. Because I've got so much more. And he says, I'll hide some things from you, but I'll show some things to you. And he says, I'm going to see how you love me when I show you a little, but I hide a lot. And then I've got a plan of how I will issue the stuff that I'm going to unveil in your life. I'll unveil it. And if you're faithful with what I unveil here, I'll give you more. To him that hath, more shall be given. And that him that hath not, even that will be taken away from you. But I'm just telling you, God's got you in some people's blind spots. And he's got some folks in your blind spot. And you got to trust God that even though, God, I feel like I can't see what you're trying to provide for me, that you'll come to that place like Jacob. And he's in Pandanaram and he's having an experience with God. It was as though he sneaked up on the back door to heaven when he laid his head on that rock. And revelation, it was a rock of revelation. Jesus said, upon this rock I will build my... And there was something that came from that rock, a ladder with angels ascending and descending. That I'll be bringing stuff to you, but I'll be taking stuff away. I'll be bringing it and taking it, bringing it and taking it. The Lord give it and the Lord take it away. I'll bring it and take it. I'll bring it and take it. Don't worry about the stuff that's taken, because more is on the way. More is on the way. Don't worry about who you lose, because somebody else is coming your way. My God, if you trust him, if you trust him, if you trust him, if you trust him, God's not going to build his kingdom around any one person. If this one is taken, God says, I got something else coming. I got something else coming down the ladder. Just hold your hope. Hold your hope, because something is on its way down the ladder to you. Whatever's going up to him, well, we just lost this one. Well, guess what? Something else is coming. Something else is being birthed. Something is coming down from heaven. Something is going there. There's a process of exchange that's happening. He said, surely God is in this place, and I didn't know it. He was in my blind spot. So even when you can't see him, even sometimes when you don't feel him, know that he's there. When you cannot see the manifest presence of God, trust the omnipresence. Trust the omnipresence. Trust the omnipresence. God says, I'm with you. I know you don't see me. You don't see me doing anything. You're afraid right now, and you feel like you're all alone. But God says, you're not alone. I'm in your blind spot. I'm in your blind spot, like a parent who has a child in nursery, and they want to observe, but they don't want the child to see them, because they know if they see me, they'll lose their cool, and they'll start crying. And so God says, I just want to check on my baby. But he's like, I see you. I see you. I got your back. I see you. I'm in your blind spot, but you're not in mine. I see you. I see you. I see you. And just because you don't see him, don't ever think that God does not see you. Surely the Lord is in this place, and I didn't know it. He's in my blind spot.